All right, let's have a look at the EQ8. So we're going to get down and get the EQ8 graphic equalizer. Now the frequency display, that's what this thing is here, okay? So let's play it and you'll be able to see frequencies jumping up and down in volume. These fellas here. That's called frequency display. Now let's make it bigger. Click this button here. Just to show you the frequencies, if you look on the real basic terms, anywhere here is the highs, anywhere here is the mid-range of the track, and anywhere here down is the bass, okay? And it goes up in decibels, 0 to 6 dB, 6 dB up to 12 dB, and then -6 and -12. Now the great thing you have here is you have your hertz, which is the frequency, then you have your note, which is really handy anywhere on the actual frequency display. You can see what note is where. It's great for mixing vocals, and it's great actually for everything. And then you have the decibels. Now, let's go back here. The frequency, the gain, and the Q. So you want down the bottom, you have 20, 100, 1K and 10K. So 20 up to, or -20 up to 10K is the range of the human ear. That's why that frequency range is there. Down here you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 frequency spots that you can get up to 8. Now the frequency here is just the amount of hertz where it's at. So you can put this up and move it across. So we'll get to that in a minute though, right? And basically, if you take something and cut it, you're getting rid of all this range here. Okay, so here's the different types. So first of all, there's the low cut, and it's -48 to -12 dB. Then you have a low shelf. Then you have a bell. Then you have a notch. It's great for cutting frequencies out. Then you have a higher shelf and a higher cut. So let's see how all these work. There's the boost, and there's the cut. Anywhere in the bass you want it to kind of cut. Nothing can really hear below there. And if you want to boost things, the high ends like the hi-hats, the snares, the claps, the tops of vocals, this is where you get all the air around here. Okay, so let's have a look at what they all do. As you move up, you'll hear the frequency starting to cut out like a filter. So let's get the basics. If you're doing bass, let's cut off the highs, cut off the lows, and bring the bass back. So if your bass is there, you're going to have more room for your mids there. And you cut those mids, you're going to have more room for the highs there. So you want to separate the bass, the mid, the treble, and everything in between. So with this bass, what I like to do when EQing is to move the cut towards where I want it to be and until it starts to change. And this goes for everything. It's starting to change there. How much of that top do we want? So at the moment we got 4 parametric filters and the filter bands at the moment, but there's 8 altogether. You can see that these are different filter spots there, and each way you can have a different notch. So let's go to 2. Let's turn off 8, 7, 6, 5. Let's go to 2. And you can move that along the frequency band. Or large or wide. So let's say the bass is here. Now we're going to do an EQ in the kick. Let's put the EQ8 in there. And the same thing. Let's take the top out. Let's have a look at the bottom. We'll go to low notch. Hear that tiny difference? That's a nice place for kicks, just to duck under there a bit. So before, after. Those tiny little movements just make it so much better. Okay. Let's put in this drum loop. Quite bright, so very basic EQing on that. Let's grab the EQ8 and let's have a listen to it. Look at the frequency range. That's quite nice actually. So you can just go ahead and cut the bass. This is no spill. Listen to it until it starts to change. Starting to change there. See the little shakers coming out more there. So that's before and after. You can see how much work the EQ does in the smallest amount of movements. So let's grab this chord, just put it in there for giggles. Let's grab that there, and let's have a listen to the chord. Put an EQ8 on it. There's a huge spectrum range. Just going to turn it down a little bit. You can see it goes across the whole spectrum range here. So we probably don't need the bass notes, okay? Because we want to keep it nice and clean. So again, we'll just cut it here on the low cut. I like using the sharp one. Yeah, you just don't need that mud. And then let's have a listen to the bass. This is to taste, so you can do it any way you want. I'm just showing you the very, very basics about EQing.